Hello and welcome to the Roundabout Podcast, where we have all the numbers for a boy band, but we look more like members of Grateful Dead. This is episode 49. My name is Austin Suddeth. With me today, I have Michael Levine, Hunter Brittle, and Tyler McClellan. Hello, gentlemen.
Howdy.
Hello once again.
Boy, you aren't kidding with the whole looks like more like Grateful Dead.
I know, right?
That's true.
I had a meeting today and I turned on my webcam and I was like, oh, I look bad. Like I didn't look in a mirror this morning. My hair was all over the place. It was a mess.
It's all a picture of them, like a more updated recent one. I don't think they've been a band in forever. Actually, I have no clue. But I saw.
Oh no, they I think only stopped performing like a year or two ago.
I was about to say, I know it wasn't that
it must
long
have
ago.
been. It must have been pretty recent. And I was like, oh boy, ooh, rough.
Yeah, they've seen better days. I'm curious though, Austin. How much do you plan those intros? Like, do you just have a list of them, or are they kind of come to you within an hour of recording?
So last week's episode, that one came to me during dinner, and so I just had to write that one down. That one came to me about 30 seconds before we started.
Very nice. They're usually very impressive.
I like it.
Evidently, I might be right and wrong, but evidently the last concerts with the last three remaining original band members was in 2015. But I guess there's maybe still a group of like the Grateful Dead, but it's not any of the original members anymore. I don't know, something like that.
Well,
So
I know they're
the same band, different people.
The Leonard Skinner approach.
Yeah, they were
yeah, it's
definitely
like this.
doing.
I mean, they kind of just rotate people out.
Yeah, they were definitely doing something about 6-7 years ago, because I specifically remember my uncle going to a concert, but how many of the original members that was, I have no idea.
Do you think?
Yeah,
that
I remember
it's-
hearing people going to concerts like 2021. So
Do you think it was
I don't
a cover band for Grateful Dead, and they were a cover band for like 30 years, and then they heard that all the members were like either dying or quitting, and they're like, oh, now's our chance, and they just like slowly integrated the cover band as the Grateful Dead. It's like the highest thing you can do as a cover band is just become the band.
no, I think it's more like 007, where it's just whoever the active members are at the time are the Grateful Dead.
That's fair.
That's fair, yeah. I don't think the Grateful Dead would complain, because they're still getting royalties if a
Right.
cover band just started performing as them.
Well,
I mean, do you
Unless,
get royalties from songs being performed at a concert?
Well, but if concerts are still getting sold out, people are still buying music.
yeah, I'm going to let you know, most bands don't own that. A label owns that.
That's valid. That's fair. How many people actually
Unfortunately.
buy music nowadays? Obviously, like with things like Spotify and Apple Music, it's got to be pretty low. Like how good are music sales themselves? I guess, like, I know it's not going to be actual vinyls, but whether it's digital albums, anything like that, how is that a big market still?
I mean, I collect vinyl records.
Fair.
So it's become niche. It's definitely become a niche market. Like going out and buying a CD is kind of, there's nowhere to play it. Whereas vinyls are such a collector's item, and they kind of always have been for a long time, that I feel like that's kind of just been stable. But like going out and buying music, it's like you're going to buy a digital copy of it. And at that point, most people, like you said, are going to have some kind of music streaming platform to listen to that music.
Yeah, no, that's
It's just easier distribution.
I think even the digital side is starting to pick back up some. I think there's kind of this movement towards or movement away from like Spotify and Apple Music, because they're starting to I think people are starting to recognize that it's like the money isn't the majority of the money you spend on Spotify isn't actually flowing to the artists or even the labels. Like, it's a lot of what you pay for in your subscription over the course of a year just stays at Spotify. And so I think there's a beginning to be a movement back towards just buying, even if it's the digital copy, buying it straight from the artist. I saw something like that the other day. An artist popped up, and somebody was asking like, "Hey, what is the best way to support an artist I like?" And they said, like, literally, don't listen to my music on Spotify. Just buy the album straight from me.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, and
That's the best way.
You're seeing a similar things happening with the movie market right now. A lot of people are going away from streaming, and they're starting to buy, whether they're digital or physical. People are starting to buy movies again. I was reading a thing on Twitter the other day, and I don't have the exact numbers, so I'm not even going to say, but it was apparently there was a pretty big spike within the last year, especially relative to the 5-6 years ahead of it. I think obviously you can do it within Amazon now. There's other forums like my stepdad uses. I think it was Vudu, but now I think it's owned by Fandango, where you basically just buy the digital version of the movie and then you have a library of movies. I know that's getting big again too.
Yeah,
so.
I think that is. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is now Fandango, but
yeah, but plus add that just to the rising cost of all these streaming services, whether it's movies, TV, music, Spotify. I think's gone up even more again. Everything's getting so expensive. They're starting to, I feel like a lot of these streaming services are starting to price themselves out.
Yeah, I just got a notification that Netflix went up again, and I have the base tier, and the base tier is like $25 a month.
That's insane.
I'm about to not have Netflix anymore.
Paying $25 a month in the base tier, you probably still have ads. That would piss me off.
No ads.
Okay, that's good.
It's the like original bottom tier, but even still, like I got so mad at them because for Christmas, my mother-in-law bought us a new TV. It's a cheap 4K LG, but all of our the TV that it replaced was a TV I have had for 14 years and still running, but it's just I have the 4K consoles, I have all of these 4K applications, but no 4K TV. And so I was it's about time. Just get me a nice 4K cheap TV. And she got it for me, which I was very thankful for. But the minute I loaded Netflix onto it, it's oh, we have detected that you have a 4K TV. Would you like to upgrade to the 4K plan? I was like, I didn't know I had to pay extra to get 4K.
That's insane.
Not only do you have to pay extra, it's a good chunk more.
It was $12 more a month back then.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I was like,
it's a lot more.
Absolutely not, because this TV has AI upscaling, and so it just upscales it to 4K anyways.
Very nice.
It is noticeably different from the 1080.
Yeah, I think at one point Kenda and I talked about that as well. We haven't had Netflix in years. But we talked about it because one of the shows James likes is on there, and we ended up just getting it from my mom has it. But we were talking about it and well, okay, if we get it, it's this much, or we could pay a little more and get 4K, and that's kind of cool because it is nice to watch things in 4K. And I was like, wait a minute, the only thing we watch is Gabby's Dollhouse,
right?
Why would we pay 4K for Gabby's Dollhouse?
Got to get those animations, make them look lifelike.
Got to get that detail in there, baby.
Yeah. So we decided not to.
We're fortunate to have a very good system right now with Grace's parents. Between Grace's parents, my parents, and then us, we have a few things. They have a few things. My parents have a few things. So we share. I'm actually pretty sure Brittle is still logged into my HBO Max, which is just perfectly fine. But so that does help.
Would you say he's stealing it? Like he stole my foam, apparently?
Well, right? if he considers me giving him the password as stealing it, then sure. But according to Brittle's definitions, he probably thinks he stole it. Yes.
Yeah.
I am hacker man.
He got it for free, therefore it's stolen.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that is nice. One piece of advice, Austin, I will give you if you haven't already done this, and this is something I just learned fairly recently. Bigger TVs oftentimes have a preset motion smoothing in the TV. Turn it off. Trust me on that one. Turn it off. Anybody that has a big TV or a smart TV, a lot of them have it now, and I just learned about this recently. And after turning it off, it made such a big difference, especially with watching TV and movies. Now, like playing games or something on it, a bit of a different situation. But with that, it's hard to explain, but it takes a lot of like intensity away, especially like action movies and stuff. I'm not smart enough to tell you why or how it happens, but I watched a video on it not too terribly long ago. It's worth it. So go through your settings and you'll thank me later, I think.
Define bigger TV.
I would say, I don't know.
Anything over 55.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, like 50 inches or bigger. Again, they may do it on smaller TVs. I just know a lot of newer smart TVs, especially, but more particularly the bigger ones, have it. But it almost
Y'all
like
are
does like a blurring effect rather than motion smoothing.
Y'all are so lucky my mic is tethered to my PC. Otherwise, I'd be up
You're
right
gonna
now,
go now?
messing with
Well,
my
I'll be right back.
messing with my TV settings. Y'all are so lucky.
All right.
Look
Pause the
it up.
episode. Brittle's got to go
Yeah.
mess with his TV
Well,
settings for 20
I will
minutes.
tell you this. Look it up before you do it because every company calls it something different. They all have some trademarked term for it, but it's all the same thing. It's essentially just motion smoothing, but all it does is anytime there's fast movement on the screen, it just like kind of blurs around it. It's like I'm pretty sure it's somehow AI powered in a sense that it's causing it. Like it's basically picking it up as it happens because obviously they don't have all these shows and movies just geared up ready to adjust to their whims. So as we know with anything AI, sometimes it's gonna do more or less than it should in different situations. So worth looking into.
This is the only area, well, not the only. There's like one or two other areas where I feel AI is acceptable. Because at no point is it interacting with me. Like it's not asking me for anything. It's just trying to make something better. And it's one of the times I was like, okay, I'm okay with AI. Like you can put AI in my TV if it's going to make the picture better. Just do that.
I'm not as opposed.
It's a method of AI that's not stealing your job.
Valid.
Like it's not taking people's jobs to have it correct things or make your image better on your TV. Like it's pretty harmless. It's not going to lie to you. That's the other one. It's not going to lie to you about what you're seeing on the TV.
According to Tyler, it is. It's lying to me about motion.
Well, yes, but it's not going to tell you that.
It's not going to tell you it's not doing it when it is doing it.
Yeah.
My favorite one of those, and I don't think I've mentioned this in a podcast, was the guy, y'all may have seen this, the guy that was asking ChatGPT. He held a marker between both hands, like just in between his thumb and his pointer finger on both hands, and said, if I let go with one hand, what's going to happen? Like, what's this marker going to do? And it kept saying it's just going to fall straight down and holding its current like plane. So it's going to stay vertical and just drop. Well, of course, he lets go with one hand and it swings on a pivot of the right hand because he's still holding on with that hand. And he essentially asks ChatGPT, he's using the voice version, and he asked it, he said, well, you said it was going to fall straight down and it didn't. And he's like, it's on video. There's a video element to this. And it's like, yes, it did. I just saw it. And he did it again. He said, no, watch. And he does it again. And it does the same thing. And ChatGPT's like, yeah, it did exactly what I said. It fell while maintaining the same plane. It was just funny watching because like you can tell this is what the guy does for content. Like he basically makes ChatGPT lie and does different things to test out how accurate and how truthful it is with a lot of things. And you could tell even he was getting frustrated with it. But
Rage baiting AI just seems like poking a bear.
Yeah,
well,
basically.
it's something we've talked about on this podcast before is so many people think like ChatGPT and Claude and Grok and all of these AI models are like a know-all being, which is not true. Like ChatGPT was designed as a language AI model. And people are like, oh, we're going to do all these things with it. It's like, that's not how it works. Like, that is not a part of its programming. I mean, I think what I talked about was I was trying to build a budget with it and realized that ChatGPT can't do math because it just wasn't adding the things it needed to. It was making up numbers to make the budget look better. But that's because that's what a language model would do, not a math model. And so people think that ChatGPT is like this, like Google Plus, to where you ask it something and it's just going to give you an answer. Well, that's the thing. It's just going to give you an answer. It doesn't have all of the internal workings it needs to like figure out physics, figure out all these other things, because that's not what it's based on. And I think that is why AI annoys me more than it should, is not because it's not doing what it's supposed to, is that people think it's supposed to do something that it can't. And everyone's like, oh, I just went to ChatGPT and did that. So like, that's not what it's for. That's like it's like going to a carpenter and asking him why your plumbing's bad. It's not going to work.
That feels like the most predictable thing that's going to happen in this episode. Austin isn't mad at technology. He's just mad at the people using it.
Dude, I've been mad at people for 20 years. Like,
It's all user. It's all user.
Turns out Austin has zero issue with AI. He just has issue with people, which is understandable. Very, very understandable.
and that's why I like the AI on my TV, because no one's interacting with it, trying to make it do something it can't do.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there making my picture look better, and there's no interaction. So it's great. It's fantastic.
That explains why my March Madness bracket was so bad. Because I had ChatGPT try and do it.
It's not a sports analyst by any means.
It is not. We need. Where's the Stephen AI? Where's the Stephen AI Smith?
That's a good one.
It just yell at you the whole time and tell you you're wrong. And
right.
Wait, but you said that, Stephen AI Smith. I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not going to get on my soapbox like I do about AI. We all know where I stand on it.
Particularly on its neck.
It's funny, though, because you talking about the TV one, all I can imagine is in the future is people yelling at their TV, asking it to switch one actor out for another during a movie.
I'm not going to lie, though, I am very impressed. Have you seen the benchmark Will Smith eating spaghetti AI videos?
Yes.
Have you seen the one that came out this year?
I don't know that I have.
It's actually impressive. Like the same prompt from the first one. They just they use the exact same prompt in every video, and like the one that came out this year, I was terrified of how accurate it looked, like Will Smith having a conversation with someone while eating spaghetti. I was like, this looks like this could have been filmed. It was almost impossible to tell that it was AI generated.
Well, I was browsing Amazon the other day I think I was looking for a chair or something to put in this room, and almost every single product that I actually clicked on, that has the images you can scroll through, well, most all of them now will have a video, and it is essentially a person walking up to the chair and sitting down and or maybe grabbing a book or grabbing a cup of coffee or something. But there's always a video that's I guess supposed to show off the chair. But they're all AI. But it's not like it isn't clear as day because of the way it looks or the way the person looks in the video. They look very convincing. What it is the movement. It's just something uncanny about it. And I think what it is it's like muscle control. Essentially, like one of them, I noticed the person kind of walked up to it from the side and put their foot on it and then lifted themselves up and sat down. But at the angle they were doing it, it would have taken insane leg strength to sit down that smoothly with their leg at a 45-degree angle to the side. And I think that's what, to me, made them all stand out and made it obvious that they were AI. But it's just crazy to think, you cannot avoid it. It's something we talk about at work a lot now. You cannot avoid AI. It has gotten to the point where everything has it, whether it's advertising, when you call companies, and I hate this, our company is one of those now. You cannot avoid it anymore. It's insane how quickly it has just taken over. I say taken over, but become involved in one way or another everywhere.
It's funny you use the term uncanny, because that is actually, there is a term for when something computer generated looks too close to real, but not quite. And it's called the uncanny valley effect. And it started out back when video games were trying to create photorealistic faces, and they were getting really close, but it was one of those things you could tell it was wrong, but you couldn't figure out why. You could look at it and go, I know this is computer generated and it's not perfect, but I can't tell you why it's not perfect. And it's starting to be a similar concept with AI generation now, where it's getting so close to perfect in terms of one-to-one with real life, but it's not quite there yet. And it is hitting this weird uncanny valley moment that really video games have backed off away from for quite a while now. Of they don't try to have perfect lip syncs, or, they kind of almost intentionally flaw their CGI a little bit to stay away from that uncanny valley. And it's interesting because AI is running full ahead into that uncanny valley moment.
And it's almost unnerving looking at her, uncomfortable or even creepy. It's that element of just, you know, especially I think the realer it gets, the worse it gets, which is kind of the whole point of that uncanny valley. But it's that feeling of my eyes are telling me that this is okay, but something within me, basically something subconscious is screaming that this is wrong, right? And I think that's what causes that feeling of just almost discomfort. Like, it's just weird looking at it. I think a lot of it has to do with emotion, right? Everything looks a little too real, a little too perfect. And obviously humans, we are insane at showing emotion on our faces, some much more than others, Austin. But
what the hell does that mean?
You can't hide
Austin catching strays.
It wasn't a stray. I just feel like it's pretty accurate. I feel like I can tell how
stray.
you're
I
feeling.
shot right at you.
Yeah, it was directed. No, I
That
feel
was
like I can
like fire.
Aim and point, sir.
No, I just feel like I can tell what you are thinking, or not exactly, but like you're feeling about something. I don't feel like you're one that can hide it well. Like, if you look at me like, what the hell is he talking about? I'm gonna see it clear as day, kind of thing. I had an old coworker that I used to tell her that she is a walking billboard, just because, or a better term would be a walking emoji, because she cannot hide her emotions to save her life. But as humans, we're good at that. We can show emotion without saying anything, without making major changes on our face, but just small little, micro changes in expression. And AI, I don't know that it'll ever be able to match that. I could be wrong, but it just creates this uncomfortable sense of wrong.
AI is
All right, we're
listening
playing
right now
poker.
and making micro adjustments.
Yeah, I would say we are playing poker for our tabletop day now.
I'm so down.
We'll see how well I wear my emotions on my sleeves.
God forbid there's a rocket game at Roundabout Tabletop. All the emotion will be out, Austin. Ooh, money, rocket.
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. I told you to get out.
It's rigged. That game
I
is
still
rigged.
wish we
You
had a clip
cannot.
of that, man.
That was so funny.
That was one of the funniest moments I've been involved in one of our streams.
I really wish I was recording that game, because our angle of that would have been phenomenal.
Fantastic, right? And you can catch these moments if you show up to our streams on Friday. At this point, I think we can say every Friday, except for the fact that we didn't do it this past Friday.
Except we had to do it on a Saturday.
Look, I don't know why y'all get so bent out of shape about the fact that occasionally we change the stream date so we can include more of y'all when you're unavailable on Friday.
Oh,
True,
nobody's
yeah.
been out
Have
of
some
shape. It's just hard
flexibility.
to say every Friday when the most recent Friday we didn't.
That's
Usually
mostly
on
aimed at
Fridays.
Austin, who bitches about every time when I say most Fridays, and he goes, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Most
Yeah, totally.
Fridays.
Yeah,
Can't
which is why
hide
I
his
say,
opinions, his
which is why I
feelings.
say most.
Except it's been happening more and more, and that's why at the end of the podcast, I always say we stream every week, because it could be a different day.
Well, that's why you got to turn the
More and
notifications
more.
on so you know when we go live.
All right, from now on, I'm going to say, you know what? You can check us out on Twitch 60% of the time on Friday, 30% or 24% of the time on Saturday, and then maybe on Thursday or Tuesday about 6% of the time. You want me to start doing that? I'll do that now.
I think the solution
the
is,
analytics.
if we're not going to stream on a Friday, Michael posts on Twitter, and then we can say we stream every Friday, or post a message that we're not going to. That's
Yeah,
the
I meant to
solution.
this week and I forgot to make the post.
Well, I do think we have to give ourselves
It's
credit.
like midnight Friday night. I realized it.
Yeah, well, we have to give ourselves credit where it's due. Despite our hectic schedules lately, and there seems to be something going on every weekend, we have still been pretty consistent, and we've still at least done a stream and a recording almost every week. And if we haven't, we've planned ahead for it, like we're doing now.
Yeah, we're getting better about planning ahead. I think a lot of times it was like 3 days before, is like, hey, are we going to change this? And be like, I can't change anything now. I've made plans.
It's happening more and more. Looking back through the calendar, this is the first time in well over a month we had to move to a Saturday.
Yeah, and we can just blame Brittle.
What?
Yeah.
Well, why me
Brittle?
specifically?
Well, because you were
Actually,
out of town.
I mean, this week, I think really we're blaming Tyler, because if Tyler had known he wasn't going to go to Topgolf earlier than 3 hours before, Austin and I would have done a Friday stream.
Well, sorry that I just called on a
Wow.
thunderstorm.
I'm just saying,
I did say
It's,
I could still do it tonight if you want, but y'all had already made plans.
yeah.
Some of us have kids and we plan out bedtimes, all right? Me
get
and Heather plan out who's putting Gray to bed. a week in advance so that it's fair. A 2-day change, I can't do it. You're on your own.
I hope my kid is not as difficult to get to bed as yours is.
Oh, it's not the kid. That's the thing. It's not a kid thing. It's a me and Heather thing.
Fair.
It's a taking turns to save our sanity.
Now that's parenting.
Correct.
Compromise.
Once they hit toddler, it is no longer you as a family. It's the parents versus the child for 90% of activities. And then you have like the sprinkle of like 10% where you're doing family stuff and everybody's happy. And those are golden moments. But other than that, it's all right. Who's doing it tonight? Like, who's going to fight the kid to go to bed tonight?
Brittle, a few years down the road, I don't know how many years, but me and you are going to be the ones with kids, and we're going to be the ones saying, well, I can't do it until this time or after this time, and they're going to be laughing at us like, ha, we told you.
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh, I can't wait.
I have been a part of a Wednesday night game group for over a decade now, actually about 15 years. And it's me and 3 guys who are a little bit older. One of them, he has 2 kids and his oldest kid is turning 14. So that's how long we've been doing this. And I would listen to him about like we scheduled specifically Wednesday was going to be our night we play video games. And we have done it consistently. And hearing him having just one night scheduled for video games and all that he had to do to work around it to make sure that happens, I didn't understand it. And then I had a child, and now I completely understand it because there are 4 nights a week that I have blocked off 4 things for me to do. And when one of those things changes, everything changes. I have to scrap the whole week and start over.
So when are y'all having kids?
I don't
Eventually.
want them to have kids. I don't want it.
It's been
Well,
so
that's just
bad for
hurtful.
him. He doesn't want to wish it
Honestly.
upon
No.
anybody else.
I love being a dad. I love my child. I don't want to see you 2 as parents.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was more of a dig at us rather than
Listen, I got a
I could do
15-year-old
it.
thrust upon me at like 24 years old. Done pretty decent with that, I think. He's still breathing at least.
yeah. You skipped the cart, went straight for the horse, bud.
Yeah, I
Like-
went straight to the teenage years, man.
Nah, he's got to. That is a good point. I mean, it doesn't affect your schedule nearly as badly
You're
as
right.
an infant, but the attitude, you definitely have to deal with that.
Definitely brings some unique challenges. No, we will. We'll definitely
just
have
know
kids at
that-
some point.
You can put that one to
I
work.
just know if
though.
all 4 of us have kids, we're never going to get any recordings done.
Nope.
Roundabout ends.
Roundabout's done.
We'll get
Yeah.
them. There will just be a whole lot more child noises in the background.
We're going to go from a once a week release to once every quarter.
Grace is going to be like, can you remind me again why our child has to go to bed at this time? Oh, it's because Austin's an hour behind us and his kid doesn't go to bed until then.
Right.
So I have a question for you guys.
I have an answer. Let's hope they
And
match.
yeah, good. Why don't you answer first and then I'll ask the question?
Blueberry.
Purple because aliens don't like to wear hats.
I was thinking Windows.
Okay.
Well said.
The question that I have, it came up because I was messaging with somebody the other day and, they sent something that was, I don't know, kind of funny. And that, they're obviously expecting like some sort of response. So I just sent back kind of the like standard, LOL. And then it got me thinking like, do I, and by extension y'all, like have a set response for different levels of funny in texts?
Mine
Absolutely.
I believe I do, yeah.
Mine consists largely of reaction images, like just of clips in media with a frame out of context. It's very funny.
So if I have, I think I have something of, LOL is kind of the baseline. LMAO, you really got me laughing. And if I genuinely, like, actually laughed out loud louder than I should have, I will send that. I actually laughed out loud louder than I should have, or harder than I should have. But one caveat to that, I will not just send LOL in response. To me, it almost comes off as rude. If I'm just going to send like a laugh response, LMAO, LOL, it's just going to be an emoji. I'm going to send the laughing emoji. Usually LOL will come at the end of a sentence. like a
Now,
response.
Okay.
I'll LOL you. I'll give you a thumbs up and leave it and let you interpret it how you want.
Thumbs
I'm
up.
that guy.
Dangerous, man.
Yeah, just hit him with a thumbs up. No,
That's
no
dangerous.
context is crazy.
Nothing. Just a thumbs
Yeah,
up.
like-
Have a good day.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with that. And maybe it's an age thing. I don't know, but like I'll like if it kind of got like a one chuckle, like a ha kind of thing, then I'll do like an LOL. If I actually like really found it funny, I'll give it like a ha ha. And then like if it's something that kind of to Tyler's point, like I actually legitimately laughed, then I'll give it the like crying face emoji. And then like the elite tier to me, it like because it takes so much effort, like if it's a absolute elite tier thing, that's when I'll go find a meme.
See,
That's fair.
I'm with you on the first 2 points. If I make an audible noise at all that I find funny, just like a little like that's laughing out loud to me.
Yep, that's
I
high
have-
honors.
Yeah.
I have made a noise in response to whatever you sent me. You're getting an LOL. If I actually like haha, then you're getting like an LMAO or something bigger than that. But if it's something that like I'm laughing at, I'll give you like a little bit more. Like I'll be like, dude, that was absolutely hysterical. Like I'll actually write like a sentence behind it. So that is like, you've got me typing more than just a response. I want to say, and I think this is the generational thing between me and Mike and you two, and I think really a lot of people. For me specifically, text is a form of information. I am not having conversations with you through text. If you send me something, you found it funny, you have sent me information, my only obligation to you is to inform you that I have received that information.
Well, I was going to add to, so your thumbs up, the age of reacting to messages is like my favorite thing in the world. So rather than actually sending an emoji back, just holding it down and clicking the correct corresponding emoji, I use it at work, on Teams, I use it with text messages all the time, like thumbs up or the laughing emoji or the heart emoji or whatever. That's my favorite thing, is just reacting to messages now. It's like the easy way out. But I'm with you though. Like if something actually makes me laugh, like, and when I say laugh, I mean laugh, like laugh out loud fully, then I will. I think I've actually sent this to Brittle before, a message that said that made me laugh during my meeting, or I had to turn off my camera because I was laughing, whatever. Right. I'm going to tell you that because that to me is like the highest honor of, you just sent me the funniest thing I'm going to see all day, possibly all week.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the way I look at it is any of these could be tagged on a sentence or standalone, but it's the same level. Like I could give you a sentence and then an LOL, and that's basically the same as if I just sent you the LOL. I just didn't have additional commentary if I didn't send anything else. You know,
That's fair. Yeah.
For me, it also depends on who I am interacting with, because in some group chats, don't use emojis at all. But when you're talking to individual members of that group chat, yeah, you can use emojis. Like it's all based on pre-established norms and patterns. Like,
what is your most used emoji for the group? I mean, not necessarily just Brittle, but what's your most used emoji?
definitely the crying laughing emoji.
I thought you were going to say the eggplant.
No,
I would have to say the thumbs up
Not
simply
anymore.
because of work. I get so many messages that are just notifying me of something, or will you look at this? And most of them don't require a response. So I will just send the thumbs up emoji back. Just basically exactly what Austin's saying, just notifying them that I saw the message and that I'm going to do whatever was asked in it.
I guess it's contextual, right?
Yeah.
Like for work, I use the thumbs up a lot, and I use the fire emoji a lot.
I feel like the fire emoji in the workplace has more meaning than outside. Like if someone sends me a fire emoji outside of work, it doesn't hit. But if you send me the fire emoji at work, I feel like we're doing something we should be doing.
I feel like the fire emoji is my Discord go-to.
I use it. I don't know that I use it outside of work a whole lot. Maybe in a group chat occasionally, but I feel like I use it at work a lot because we're sharing around ideas and prototypes and stuff like that. And it's like, to me, that's like that is super awesome an engineer sends me a working thing of an idea, and it's like, oh wow, that is phenomenal, and I'll hit it with the fire emoji.
That's a very similar thing to me though with using it in Discord, is because like a lot of times it's somebody posting, like take GLR for example, a paint that they've made, or in the hockey league I used to be in, when they would send the lineup out for the week, and if I was in it I would put a fire emoji on it, right? Like it was always that. It's just like excited. I do use the 100, like with the underline on it, like the 100%. Sometimes at work too, just to like reiterate, like, yeah, this is another one I've started to use, as well as the 2 exclamation points. I like that one, just like emphasizing a point. That's a fun one. I've got a lot apparently.
That's a reaction, though, not sending an emoji as a response.
Correct. It's rare that I actually type out an emoji. Most of the time, it's a reaction emoji. Like 95% of emojis I use are reaction emojis. That's kind of what I was thinking. I still struggle
to not do a less than 3. Like, I still rather just send the less than 3 than go and find the heart emoji.
Good gosh, you're old.
Does it not auto
pretty
make
crazy?
It?
A lot of times it does, but sometimes it doesn't, and I get called out.
I would call that out.
Oh yeah, I just typed it into messages and it didn't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I assumed that was like the quick text to make that emoji appear.
Yeah, it's some apps will do it. I mean that because my thing is the heart emoji is probably my most used, but that's because only the person I send emojis to is my wife, and I just like it whenever she talks to me. It's really nice when that happens, so I just let her know that I love it and wish she would do it more, but that we're not getting into that. But yeah, the heart emoji is my most used emoji.
I mean, I heart react to.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Not on podcast.
Do we need to wait till after?
I was trying to gloss over it for you, Austin. I heart react to every like reel or TikTok or something, like some piece of media that people will send me. If I, even if I think it's hilarious, it gets a heart emoji. Just love that. Thank you. Consistency is key.
Yeah. Now I will say, like, as a reaction, I use the heart one a lot. Thumbs up, like as a reaction, the thumbs up is like my go-to. Because like I said, it is, I have seen this and I'm letting you know that I have interacted with this.
Yeah, it's again, I would say a major portion of any react emojis I use is going to be the thumbs up for work, mainly because of work, only because of work, really. But that's a big one.
Yeah, we don't use emojis too much in the hospice world. I feel like if we use the heart emoji, someone would take that as we have a problem with a heart patient or something.
It has a whole different meaning in the hospice world.
Completely different.
God forbid somebody use the broken heart emoji.
It's just all thumbs downs and ghost emojis around here.
Yikes.
Broken heart emoji,
Jeez.
EKG symbol, sad face.
Not the ghost emoji. It's crazy.
302 ghost emoji, thumbs down.
That's crazy. I didn't even hear the ghost emoji part. That's diabolical. Another thing I'll tend to do sometimes, like especially on like videos, Elliot, for example, sends me quite a lot of videos, and I used to do it all the time, and it wasn't a way of being lazy. It was actually like me saying, hey, I watched this video. This is my favorite part. Essentially, I would take a quote out of it and then just send the quote back and be like, essentially saying, this is the part I found really funny in this. But the more I do it, the more lazy it feels. Like I almost feel like it's being perceived differently than I mean it to be.
No, I get that. I think I used to do that too, just a little bit. It's kind of it's like a nice like reassurance that you watched it, 2 actually digested the information and can now repeat it back in a way that's like, hey, I enjoyed this thing that you sent me. It feels genuine that way.
Yeah.
Y'all want to go over something that has been on my notes since I think the beginning of this podcast that I have never cleared off?
We are digging deep in the trenches tonight.
But before we do that, I'm going to say my point because it is probably about to apply. I was going to say, I love how every time one of us brings something up, it has a completely different effect on the group, but it's very consistent. Like Austin, a lot of times when he brings something up, the conversations are always great, but generally speaking, they start with us all scratching our heads like, huh? Michael's make us think about stuff about ourselves that we've never thought about before. Mine talk about baseball. They all like
Mine are baseball. Full stop.
So let's see if Austin's about to fit in line with what I had to say.
Well, I was looking at my notes and I remember why I put this in here. And I kind of want to answer the question number one, but number two, I want to see if y'all can think back to a conversation that would have spawned this note. Because it was a conversation that happened on the podcast.
Already
What
scratching our heads.
Yeah. What is something you believed was true but wasn't?
So I feel like this has to be, I'm going to answer because the second portion first. This has to be about when we were talking about conspiracy theories, right?
Way before that.
Oh.
This
Well, here, y'all answer
note,
because I feel like I can ping this conversation.
this note is like 4 months old. I wish I put a date by this one.
Man, I don't know. What is something I believed for way too long, basically?
The worst part is I can think, like, there's so many that I know would fit this, but I cannot seem to think of any of them at the moment. Like those, like, wives' tales, whatever, quote unquote.
Oh, yeah. No, I came across something like recently that I was like, well, I guess I could use that note now in conjunction with this. And I don't remember what it was on. It's probably Reddit because that's where I go when I don't want to think. And it was like a list of common misconceptions, or like I actually remember one a couple of days ago that it was like, just like an ask Reddit, what is something you thought, pretty much this exact question. What is something that you thought was true and recently have found out isn't? And a lot of it is just, social things that have been talked about for 20 years, but as like science or studies show that that's not actually the case kind of thing. Like you said, old wives' tales, or just things that we didn't have all the information about, and it kind of just came to light.
Here's one.
Okay.
And it's one I believed for a long time. A while back, I heard it disproved. And then it happened to actually come up again the other day because my son was talking about it, or kind of something adjacent to it. What percentage of the air we breathe do y'all think is actually oxygen?
Like 30%.
I was gonna say, isn't it like some extraordinarily small number compared to like what we're led to believe when we get told we breathe oxygen?
Like, yeah, I was going to be way off. I was going to guess like the vast
16%.
majority of it.
So it is roughly 20%.
I was closer.
Yeah, it's at 30.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's actually the large component of what we breathe is actually nitrogen.
Yes.
And I find that fascinating that we always talk about like, oh, we need oxygen. We need, that's what we need to find. But it's actually a small part of what we need. Like we need the whole mixture, right? Like oxygen, nitrogen, all of it together. If we were going to go like to another planet or something, right? To have air that's breathable. But we overemphasize oxygen, it seems like, when really nitrogen is the bulk of what we breathe.
Yeah. Why aren't we being taught
That's
in school
fair.
that nitrogen is more necessary for life?
Right?
Are they teaching that yet? Have they made that correction?
I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't been
Ask
to school
James
lately.
next time he goes to school.
Yeah, not me either. Yeah, James, what did you learn about oxygen and nitrogen? Please tell.
Yeah.
Well, mine
So like
was
I also find kind of tangential to that, and it's not, I think, anything official, like, but the concept that like oxygen is actually poisonous.
What?
Oh,
Like, have y'all heard it?
Oh,
I
heard
heard that
that.
one. Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a conspiracy theory per se, but it's just kind of like an observation that like actually oxygen isn't good for us, but we also require it. So like the thing we need kills us.
Yeah, it's like pure oxygen is actually not good for you. Like if you just inhaled pure oxygen, it's actually very detrimental to your health. But it is kind of one of those things that it's what were we talking about the other? Oh, fiber. If you eat too much fiber, you have too much oxygen. There's a balance you got to meet, apparently.
moderation.
Yeah, oxygen in moderation.
I read that as one
Turns
of
out the
those things.
chemtrails were just oxygen.
They're not. I read that as one of those like everybody who's ever drank water has died type things. Like
Right.
that's how I read.
I mean,
that.
I think that's part of it. Yes, like I think that is a lot of, and that's kind of more of what I was referring to is like, you know, like if you look at it, the two things we need are both oxygen rich, air and water.
Right.
And so it's like, is oxygen actually bad for us, but our bodies just require it? Like, what if we figured out how to change the human body to work without oxygen? Would we live longer and have less health problems?
Then if it's required, if our bodies require it, how could it be bad for us?
Well, because it's too much.
Because name a person who
you can't
breathed oxygen and didn't die.
You can't survive purely on oxygen. Like it's kind of like that.
Michael, did I steal your tagline?
Kind of. No, I mean that was the angle I was going, and I think
teed this up for 5 minutes just for me to steal your bit, and then you still got it in anyway.
No, I mean it's more that you're the only person who actually got the direction I was going, and Tyler and Austin went like, "Oh yeah, well, pure oxygen will kill you," and it's like, well, no, that wasn't actually where I was going with it, but that is true.
Saying it so,
but you were actually on the same wavelength of like
you
know,
got
name a human.
Scientific with me, and I like getting scientific, and that was the problem. Because I mean, it scientifically, we can't just survive off of one thing. Like our body needs multiple things to survive, so you can't just have oxygen. We need the nitrogen. We need carbon. But if you have too much carbon, that could also poison you. So it's like we need these other things that, yes, oxygen by itself is not healthy. Oxygen with other things is good.
Yeah. What if cancer is our body oxidizing, our body rusting?
That's not how that works.
You don't know that.
I do. My father had cancer. You want to know all the cancer research I got into during that time?
I mean, I don't think it's the only thing that causes cancer. I'm just saying, what if oxygen causes cancer?
It's a gene mutation.
Oxygen might be a carcinogenic, and we just don't know it yet. Anyway, Tyler, you had one. What you got?
Yeah, so this is one I am somewhat ashamed to admit, but just more recently found out. The whole bear hibernation thing, I guess because I never really looked into it more than that, I literally just always assumed it was winter came around, they went to sleep, and they didn't wake up for 3 months. Like that was
That's actually a great one. That's a great one. I would say that is a relatively recent thing for me as well.
Yeah,
like
I just always assumed they literally just slept the entire time, but apparently they get up. They just their body does change and they do sleep much more, but they can go very long periods of time without eating, drinking, using the bathroom, whatever. But they do get up, and one big part of it is there are true hibernators. They're not even technically considered true hibernators. Like certain animals, once they're in that state, there's a term for it, but I don't know what it's called. But once they're in that state, like when waking, they're very vulnerable. It takes them a while to kind of get back to their senses. Even a hibernating bear, quote unquote, can get up and defend themselves like immediately if they have to. So
yeah, a lot of reptiles are the like true hibernators where they will be knocked out for like weeks on end.
Yeah, and it takes them a lot of time to recover from it. Bears are not like that apparently, but they do go into like their body does adjust and they don't have to eat near as much, so on and so forth. But I guess again, all I ever pictured was just a bear sleeping for 3 months straight, which is cool. Like honestly, maybe I'm jealous. Maybe I was hoping that was what it was. And then another one that I learned not as recently, but if you go outside on like a cold day with wet hair, you'll catch a cold, or just being out in the cold in general will catch a cold. That's just not true at all. Cold's a virus. It has nothing to do with the weather. I mean, it does come around more commonly when it's colder outside, but has nothing to do with you going outside in the cold.
That's just a parenting tool to get you to actually comb your hair.
Correct.
Yeah, and Brittle's rebelling against that now.
Yeah, got him.
Can't comb my hair.
Catching strays.
I would argue that I actually take care of my hair more now than I have previously.
Just because you use lady shampoo doesn't mean you're taking care of it more.
Mullet takes a lot of work, man. I got shampoo, I got conditioner. I own a hair dryer now.
Ooh.
God forbid, what will I do if I don't put on a hat this morning?
Well,
what do
I
you
wear
do
a hat.
to take care of it?
I mean, I only shampoo every 3 days. Yeah, every 3 days. Shampoo and condition every 3 days, not every day.
That sounds like less care.
No, it's apparently it's got something to do with the oils that your hair
Yeah, it
produces
doesn't
or
dry
something
it
like
out.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I mean, when I go to work, my hair just gets like I'm a mechanic. There's no reason for me to like my hair's gonna get messed up no matter what I do. So I just wear a hat during the week. But like if I want to, dress up and be nice and go somewhere on like Sunday or something, there's like
You put on your nice hat?
I do put on my nice. I might put on a nice hat.
Pristine.
Put on my cowboy hat.
Yeah, or I might put in some curl cream, help that stuff actually like curl up and make it look like a nice curl and not just a mat. And then you hit it with a hairdryer, and that's, I mean, like I said, it's more work now than it ever was.
So you lean a little bit more into the business side of the mullet on nice
Exactly.
Sundays.
Yes, it's not all just fun. There's a lot of fun in the front. No, it's
No,
fun in the back.
God, man, has a
I'm still
mullet.
getting used to it. I'm still getting
It's
used
fun
to it.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fun
having
everywhere.
fun wherever I go.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not even sure you're qualified to have a mullet at this
It's a
point.
new development. Okay, I'm still
He's
getting.
I feel like
easing
you've had it
into
for like
it.
over a year
Yeah, I'm
at
still
this
getting the reins of this thing. I know my misconception.
Well, I'm glad you're still getting the reins of this. That the where this question came from.
I know this my misconception, and it might be the misconception that you're talking about.
I don't think you do, but go right ahead.
Okay, well, mine, maybe it was just Michael that I was talking about this one, but for the longest time, I'm a huge college football fan. For the longest time, I thought that BYU, Brigham Young University, noted Mormon institution. I thought it was in Louisiana because it spells bayou.
Utah, that was just me, I think. I don't think we were on a podcast.
Honestly, that makes a lot of sense to me, and I
Right?
hate how that makes sense to me.
It's hard to fault him for it.
I know,
Other than it's fairly well known that the Mormons are in Utah.
right? Other than that key fact,
But if you're not super familiar with that fact, then I could see it.
I think if you
Legitimately,
did not know Mormons were associated with it, automatically would think that. Yes,
up until about 2 or 3 years ago, I thought it was in Louisiana.
I think the least believable part of that, though, was that you thought that that's where Austin was going with this. Because while he
Right.
may agree with it, I don't think that was ever going to come out of his mouth without
Well,
being
I thought
prompted.
that we had talked about it, but I guess it was just with Michael.
It was just you and I. I don't remember what we were talking about, but it was just you and I talking about it.
So this question, I wrote it in my notes, and I was going to introduce it a different way than I did, and I just never got around to it. But it is the origin of how brittle is he? Of when I told Brittle that Elvis wasn't real, and I was gonna make this note, just be like, intro it as what's something you believe was true but wasn't, like how Brittle found out about Elvis. But we're
Elvis is real.
We're so far removed from that conversation that it's just sat in my notes this whole time, and I had just have left it there, and it has made me chuckle every single time. Just having
That's
that
funny.
little note of what's something you believe in wasn't true, parentheses, Brittle and Elvis.
Elvis is real, damn it. That's not this is just rage bait.
This is part of the roundabout canon. Now we're going to have two eras, pre-Brittle Elvis and post-Brittle Elvis, now that note is going to get removed from your notebook.
No, I'm keeping it there. I'm just going to put an asterisk by it so I can always look at it.
I hope in 6 months you forget about this one and just bring it up again, and we're all like,
Bring it
where did this
back
come
up."
from?
And I'll get mad all over again.
Yeah.
It is, I think, an interesting question, but I think I have a feeling it's one only Austin and I will answer because neither of the other two of you actually make notes to bring up in the podcast. But so I guess, Austin, when you use one of your notes on the show, how do you do you erase it? Do you mark it? Like, what do you do with it?
I delete them.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I
'Cause I know my
just
brain.
give mine a strike through, so I can look at it. Know not to bring it up again. Like if it's struck through, I know I've used it. But if it's still there, then I know I won't accidentally bring it up again.
Yeah, and see, I know my brain, And now that I have talked about whatever it is, I'm never going to want to talk about it again. Like it now that it has
so is that show dead now?
Alberto Lizzie? No, I've got a pilot. I need to pitch you. But that's the thing. It's like, I know, like, I can surmise what we have talked about because of my memory, as shit as my memory is, for some reason, what we talk about, I can always remember. Like, that's the one thing my brain decides to store is conversations. But times, dates, other things like that, completely out the window. Like, I was surprised when your mom, like, his mom texts the group about we were talking about how long ago it was we played soccer. It was exactly a decade ago, which is about what I thought. But it's like, for some reason, like, I was surprised at how accurate I was with that because he could have been right. It could have been 7 years ago. But the fact that it was 10, I was like, I guess my memory's not that shit, but like, that's not stuff I remember. What we talk about, I remember that shit. And that's the only thing my brain stores is audio files, apparently. I got no visual memory. So I delete my notes. It's like, we've talked about it. I'm not going to bring it back up. It's gone. And the way my mind works is there's going to be 20 more new things that happen in the next few days that if I actually remember to write them down, that's the thing. If I don't write them down, they're gone anyways. So like, I have to write them down. That's why on the way back from Extra Life, I had like 35 notes because those are the ones that I wrote down. There was probably about another 40 that I didn't write down and they were just gone.
Yeah, we about need another Extra Life so you can replenish your notes.
We got one coming up in 2 months.
Yeah, end of July.
Yeah.
1st of August.
So I'm just going to go ahead and asterisk this note and say Brittle did what he was supposed to do.
You get angry.
And by that, he means he is still consistently believing that Elvis is real.
Right.
Elvis was real.
I mean, sure,
Buddy, it's so hard to convince you of anything.
Shut
Santa
up.
Claus, Easter Bunny, Elvis, right? We all know about these things.
Elvis more recently because he was like a more recent development. So, I mean, he's fresh on people's minds. That's why it was such a shock to people.
What do you think the next one will be?
What?
What do you think the next one will be? Like, I feel like we're probably due soon for another
Cryptid?
made-up mythical creature. Yeah.
Pitbull?
Pitbull.
Mr.
Honestly,
Worldwide.
if you really tried to explain Pitbull to somebody that had no idea who he was, they would be like, yeah, that's bullshit. You're lying. What language does he speak? Kind of Spanish, kind of English.
We're not really sure. Many people
Neither,
from
but
around the
both.
world have claimed to understand him, but not really figured it out. Kind of speaks to you telepathically.
Yeah,
No one's
I have
ever
no
actually
idea
heard
what he's
Pitbull
saying,
speak.
yet I understand everything he's saying.
Exactly. So by the way, the the thing that I believe was true that wasn't true that wanted me to bring this up like a month ago was that a penny being thrown off the Empire State Building can kill somebody. It can't.
Oh, that's a great one, and I'm kind of upset you just ruined that for me.
Well, and the reason why is because Heather went to New York recently in the past couple of months. And it made me remember that I went to New York when I was in like the 7th grade. I think it was middle school. And we went to the Empire State Building. We went up top and we saw the nets and all of that stuff. And they had a sign, please do not throw anything over. And sure enough, I was like, well, I'm not going to, but I feel like there's a reason for this sign. And they're like, oh, if you throw a penny off from here, like there was like a worker there. It's like, if you throw a penny off here, it could fall and kill somebody. And so it's like someone who worked at the Empire State Building as a guard told me that. And so I thought there'd be validity behind it. And it's not true. Pennies cannot generate that much terminal velocity, even if they were dropped from a mile above the sky. They can't.
That's what terminal velocity is.
I'm actually curious.
Well, everything has
At
different
what-
terminal velocities.
Yeah.
A person has a higher terminal velocity than a penny.
Yes, but I'm saying you said even if they take it to a mile, that's the point of terminal velocity. Is it doesn't matter how much higher you take it; it won't gain any additional.
That was going to be my question: is at what height does a penny reach terminal velocity? Because at that rate, if it's only like a 40 or a 50-foot bridge, you could make the same claim there.
True. I think it's not as high as you think it would be.
Yeah, Michael, look this up, please. I'm curious.
According to howstuffworks.com, it's about 50 feet.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I was dead on that.
I thought it was going to be like really not that high.
So there's no difference. I could drop that shit from my house.
Right.
Not quite my house.
Your house is 50 feet tall.
No, it's not.
All right, you're living in a mansion. All right, so extra life at Tyler's house next time.
No. How tall is a story? Is it about 10 feet?
Roughly 10 feet, yeah.
Yeah.
Since you're so smart, Tyler, what is the actual terminal velocity of a penny after 50 feet?
I have no idea. It can't be that much, right? Like, I'm gonna guess pretty low here. I'm gonna say 27 miles an hour.
That's actually close. 25.
Yeah, shit. I didn't think it couldn't be much, right? I mean, it's gonna hurt. No. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's not gonna feel good landing on your head.
You can throw a penny faster than it goes terminal velocity.
I feel like that's true of a lot of things, like below a certain weight.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of weight.
True.
If a human fell off of a building, it's gonna go a lot faster than I could throw a human.
Listen, it's not a roundabout pod if I don't say an unnecessary statement.
What do you think
that's true.
The speed of defenestration is?
Of what?
Of what now?
Y'all don't know what defenestration is?
The finish line is what you cross to win a race.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Roundabout Podcast. Please come and comment to us. We are everywhere you need to be and everywhere you are not, where places you don't need to be. As in, we are on Instagram, Facebook at Roundabout Pro, YouTube, Twitter, and Blue Sky is Roundabout Gaming. And as we have mentioned in this podcast, we stream every week. We don't know what day. There's a statistic out there, and Mike's going to get it to me so I can accurately give you which percentage each day. But that is on Twitch at Roundabout Pro, YouTube Roundabout Gaming, and we do on Instagram as well as Roundabout Pro again. But please comment on any of those that you can comment on. We would love to interact with you. Please come and support us during our live streams. That's going to be the best way to get a reaction out of us because we love reading the comments, and we have a lot of people who come into the live streams, and we love interacting with y'all there in real time. But please rate, review, 5-star. Let us know if you know what defenestration is. Thank you all and have a great night.
Tune in next week if you want to learn what it means to defenestrate.
No, they're about to learn in about 10 seconds because I'm about to go for a stretch. But goodbye.
Bye.
Defenestration is the specific act of throwing someone or something out of a window. Now, here's the stretch. If you remember when we were giving answers before the question, I said window. Defenestration is derived from the Neo-Latin D or de, which is down from, and fenestra, which is window. So in a long roundabout, see what I did there? Way, I was correct when guessing my answer before the question. Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
Cut that out.
I gotta say that is pretty impressive.